Alright, Ruthless fans. Now this video is just basically me doing a, just my overall thoughts and opinions on season 2 of Ruthless. And I don't really feel like there's a need of doing a what season was better, season 1 or season 2 video, because let you know up front, when I look at both Ruthless season 1 and 2, I've been saying this for quite a while. Ruthless season 1, the first half of the season, which consisted of episodes 1 through 12, I feel like was an excellent series. I remember when I watched the show and I did my reviews on time and I said, look, it's hard to give it below an 8 and I can't give them all 10 out of 10s, but they were really strong. I think there was like one episode which I felt kind of dragged. That was either, I think it was episode 11, or was it? No, I think it was episode 10 when Brian and the sheriff went to the compound. I think that was the only episode I felt dragged a little bit. But other than that, the season at the first part was just amazing. So, going on with season 1, I thought the back half was kind of slow. It kind of reminded me of The Weeknd's new album, Dawn FM. It's like the first half of the album was perfect, but then the back half, even though it had like 1 or 2 gems, it really kind of brought it down just a little bit. But overall, I still love it. But with season 2, I feel like the reverse happened, where the first half of the season dragged on a lot. The back half of season 2 was better. And I feel like in order to answer the question of what season was better, season 1 or season 2, I feel if you took the first half of season 1 and combined that with the back half of season 2, then you would have one of the best seasons of television, or should I say, or let me just say shows, since it's on a streaming service. But then again, it is airing on BET now. But yeah, you would have one of the best seasons of television that Tyler Perry has ever written. I mean, of course, there are some elements from the back half of season 1 and the first half of season 2 that need to be sprinkled into that season, such as the introduction of certain characters. But when you really think about it, the back half of season 1 was basically introducing over half a dozen new characters, most of which are scheming to get out of the compound as well. And then the first half of season 2, a bulk of it, well, honestly, yeah, a bulk of it, like the first 3 or 5 episodes. Where's Lilo? Is Lilo here? He went to the bathroom, but what happened? What was going on? And it's like he died in the ending of season 1. Not to mention, when you look at it, the highest didn't even find out about Lilo until the ending of the penultimate episode of season 2. And in season 2, this dude is like, you know what? It's over. We're dead. They're going to kill us all. So it just felt like some things are stretched out. And it's like, well, Jeremy, season 2 is only 19 episodes. Yeah, but when the show is split up per season with a 6-month hiatus, it's a problem. So it really makes it feel like the season was stretched out a lot longer than it should have been, which I definitely agree. Season 2, what really held it back was the fact that it wasn't season 2's fault, but the Oval season 2 had a lot of Ruthless stuff in it. And then in the beginning stages of season 3, we had some more details of the Ruthless series, and it kind of really spoiled what is going on in Ruthless, because one, the show hasn't even caught up to the Oval yet. I mean, Ruthless started as of the ending of episode 1 / the beginning of episode 2 of the Oval, and then in like episode 8, it wasn't even like to episode 10, I think, of the Oval when Tally reappeared and then killed herself. So you're telling me all the events of Ruthless happened in that gap. And we know in season 1 of the Oval, things were moving so slow. People constantly called out like, look, we're like 30 episodes in and there's only been like a day or 2. What's going on here? So it's just crazy to me to think that Ruthless has passed. I mean, it sounds weird, but I feel like Ruthless has had more days than the Oval. I know that's not true, but that's what it feels like at times. I guess maybe because we're seeing more of outside or exterior shots than we do with the Oval. That could be it. But regardless, I feel like Ruthless season 2, it continued the trend that the back half of season 1 did, which was simply, we just spent far too much time at the compound. Sure, we spent some time at the sheriff's office, Polk's house when he was there with Melinda, I feel like I can count on one hand the number of times we were at Malcolm and Cynthia's house, Brian and Lynn's house, and Andrew's house. I feel like, and even the FBI station, I feel like all those scenes could equate to like half a dozen, if not less, when it comes to all the various scenes. It's just crazy to me that the show really felt like it encompassed a lot of different elements from what's going on from the outside, from them trying to bring down the compound from within, and then you see how corrupt things are behind the compound gates, and the episodes just became formulaic. You know, like on Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? The gang will be heading to like a dance or, you know, some sort of event, but then their mystery machine would either break down, or there will be an obstacle in the road preventing them from going on their path, or they take a shortcut. They end up at some suspicious looking house or building which is allegedly haunted. Then they you know, find the ghost, and then they get chased, and then they set the trap, and then it's somebody who we met during the first 2 minutes of the episode. So each episode became super formulaic. I feel like the same thing happened with this series in regards to, okay, the episode's going to start with this character here. Ruth will be talking with her bunkmate, whoever that is. Would it be Tally before she moved? Or would it be Melinda? Then she goes to the kitchen. She's talking with River all of a sudden. Then River goes to Joan. And then it's a question of, I don't trust her. You don't trust me. I don't trust you. Get in this game with us to get this money. Flirting with Daikon. Recapping with Tally every so often in some episodes. Tally goes off the deep end. It's like, I could tell this season, like, okay, I know we all want Tally to escape to finally catch up to continuity at the Oval, but Tally became unhinged the more the season went on. It's like, Tally was usually the voice of reason. Now it's like she's just doing dumb shit. It's like she'll come up with this idea that's so outlandish that Ruth was like, are you crazy? I mean, hell, wasn't it there one time where Tally and Ruth were in the kitchen, and then all of a sudden Tally let it blurt out, where's Andrew? And it's like, what the hell? To the highest directly. Come on now, what's wrong with you? But regardless, I just feel like each episode just felt so boring. But at the same time, there would be comedic elements that would keep me just cracking up, whether it be River and Joan, or perhaps especially Elder Mother and Daikon scenes never cease to amaze me. Even when an episode feels dull as I don't know what, just those two on screen and their back and forth banter, it's almost like, okay, this episode is worth the price of admission for me. But I really do feel like each episode felt like it was dragging on because you knew what to expect for the most part. But then I felt like the show really didn't really get super exciting until we actually went outside the compound. Oh God, there goes Brian. And like I said in my review for the finale, the Raku Way, when Daikon was trying to get Tally's attention with the megaphone and her daughter, when he got the phone call and it was Lynn, I literally paused the episode. I was sitting here for 3 minutes trying to figure out who the hell is Lynn, because we hadn't seen her in so long, and we had only seen her a couple of times in the season, you know, where she gets in Brian's face about wanting a divorce, like, you're a punk, you ain't nothing, I was with Malcolm, and then she tells Cynthia what happened. I feel like we've only seen, you know, Cynthia and Lynn and Sarah only a few times. On top of that, we still don't know who got shot in the shower. This better not be some Lilo crap where, you know, the person in the shower got killed in the middle of season 2, and then we don't find out who it is until the middle of season 3, just like Lilo got killed in the season 1 finale, and he wasn't discovered by, you know, a bunch of other people until the finale of season 2. I did enjoy the scenes where Paula, Lacey, and Oliver got out. The fact that you could tell that some of these characters are losing it a little more every single moment, especially Lacey. Elder Mother, Agnes, you know, she was hilarious with Marva. Just those two Elder Mothers, you know, rest in peace to her actress. They just had this demeanor, this dynamic that truly made them worth watching, because of the fact that they would have moments where they're drinking in the kitchen trailer and, you know, just having a good time recapping everything. You know, things got dark when Melinda killed Poke, and then she ended up getting offed by Manny. And this season has some deep. Oh yeah, just the brotherhood between Oliver and Clark until Oliver had to kill him. But there were just moments where you could tell these character dynamics were real. Like, even though they were in a tense situation in the compound, there were some strong bonds being made. It's like there was a brotherhood. I mean, they served the Raku in the highest, but sometimes the allegiances some of these people had with one another was stronger than their faith in the Raku. And of course, you know, episode 15 was a turning point for me, where I just stopped watching the series for like a solid month just because of that unnecessary sex scene in front of the entire compound members, as the highest punished them for having sex, you know, that was unholy. And I felt like that was just such a downer for the season because it was so unnecessary. I was cringing. I'm like, I know sometimes Tyler and other writers of shows are pressed for time, so they need to fill in the time limit of an episode, but this scene was just so out of place and uncalled for that I just didn't watch the show for a while. And even in season 1, when it got semi-boring towards the back half of season 1, I still watched it, but I had never just stopped watching the show for an extended period of time until this episode. You know, Andrew's still trying to prove his worthiness and trustworthiness to the compound, and I just love the fact that there were so many moments where this dude's like, look, I'm sick of this crap, I'm done. Did he kill William in this season? I think it was season 2 when he killed William. Like when Andrew put the gun to his head in front of Daikon, I thought that was an intense scene. Andrew was definitely one of the MVPs of season 2, I will say that. But and then Ruth's sex scene with the highest was hot as hell. Not the, you know, highest and like a little kid, but Ruth and her seductive ways. I mean, holy crap. Melissa knows what she's doing. And if I remember correctly, was it this season where there was the controversial scene with Ruth and the whip and everything, and Daikon in the trailer whipping out his thing, pleasuring himself to that? I think that was either this season or the back half of season 1. See, this is what happens when there are huge gaps in between the seasons, or the, you know, the back half and the front half of the seasons, because they kind of blend together for me. But I will say this. Could season 2 have been shorter than 19 episodes? Yeah, there was just a lot of fat that could have been trimmed. It just feels like everything is really falling apart, and based off of how events are unfolding now, when we get to season 2 of The Oval in regards to Ruth wanting the money to get Callie back to Barry, or her begging Nancy and Richard for help getting out of the cult, I do feel like it's because everything is falling apart. River is probably going to end up dead or something along those lines. The compound is in disarray because Lilo's gone, and now I'm guessing Ruth got the money that she had on the outside in order to give to the highest, to give to the cartels, to avoid all of them being killed. There are just a lot of things going on here that I feel are paving the way for everything that we've kind of been, you know, revealed to know in the future of the Oval, you know, season 2 and season 3. Some things we have yet to see. Tally making it to Nancy and Richards, Dale leaving Rockwell, and that's really about it. But I'm guessing that when it comes down to it, Ruthless, I can only see it going for maybe one more season, maybe a season 4, but it just really depends, because with all of these people getting killed, deserting, how long can you really drag this out? And when it comes down to it, in my opinion, this spin-off series had a good start, but I feel like there was a lot of fumbling along the way. So in the back half of season 2, when things got good, it really only felt like they got good because Tyler Perry kind of hit the fast forward button to really start making things happen in the compound. You know, from people being killed off, people leaving, the story about the money and Tally actually moving forward. I mean, some things that would have made it more interesting, you know, was the theory of what if Gail was sent to the compound to be quote unquote course corrected, you know, in terms of her demeanor. I mean, Hell, in season 2 of the Oval, when Bobby and Max were at the cabin, it was discovered that the Rakadushi compound was only about a few miles from the cabin they were staying in. You know, it's just one of those things where it really felt like we were going to make some connections between the Rakadushis and some of the Oval characters, but we never really got there. So I've said this several times already, that watching Ruthless at this point feels kind of redundant. Kind of like, you know, the Oval is the main story or the main campaign in a video game, and Ruthless at this point has become DLC or side quest or side missions, where it's not necessarily a required thing for you to watch or participate in, but by doing it, you get a better understanding of certain characters in the main story, some of their backstory, motivations, that kind of thing. But, yeah, and like I said, it really depended on the season 2 finale. If it was good, I would watch season 3. But if it wasn't, I would just not watch it. But the finale was so good that I'm actually quite intrigued, and I will be watching season 3 and try to actually get my videos up on time. But it's just one of those things where I don't think I've like straight up quit a show since Tyler Perry's The Pains. Don't get me wrong. Assisted Living, Bruh, Wonder Years, like those shows I had to let go of because of how little they were doing for the channel in terms of revenue. In this situation, I just felt like watching Ruthless became a chore. Hopefully season 3 kicks off in such a way where there's a better job done with divvying up the time slot of each episode. You know, okay, we're going to spend time in this place, that place, because there are just so many things we don't know that have been just, I guess you could say, thrown to the wayside, and then it gets randomly brought back into the story when it's convenient to the plot. So yeah, what do I rank season 2? Like I said, I feel like the back half was better than the first half, and if you combine it with the first half of season 1, you got one hell of a story. But let me know your thoughts. How long do you see Ruthless going on? Will you be tuning into season 3? Will you just watch it when it eventually airs on BET? Which, look, to be completely honest, aren't they just now getting to like the back half of season 1? Both seasons are fully uploaded to BET Plus, just like Bruh. So I definitely recommend checking, you know, them out if you get the chance. But yeah, what season did you prefer, 1 or 2? What were some of your highlights of season 2? And as always, make sure you take a moment to hit the thumbs up button to show you like the video. Hit subscribe as we move closer to 200,000 subscribers here on the channel. Follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. Hit the bell icon and select all. That way you keep up to date when I post content. And if you would like to donate to the channel, feel free to do so on PayPal or Cash App.